the people who are running this thing she's doing said to her that they would like her mother to be there too. And she said, no, absolutely not. They said, well, can she do something with you? Cook something, you can do something together. Absolutely not. She was absolutely furious.
When a mother distances herself, it's not just silence, it's a signal, a sharp, deliberate break from the noise. And right now, Doria Ragland is sending a signal so loud, so impossible to ignore, that it's shaking the entire Sussex brand at its core, because something changed, something snapped. After Meghan Markle posted that now infamous hospital gown video, dancing in full glam, just moments before allegedly giving birth to Lilibet, Doria didn't jump to her daughter's defense. She didn't praise the moment as empowering. She didn't comment at all. And that silence, it's thunderous, it's cutting. And I think we all know what kind of line was just drawn in the sand.
But they made a big fuss. So she said, all right. Well, I noticed and others noticed that her mother didn't look happy being there. She did come, but she did look a bit fed up and cross. And someone told me that actually what the problem is that she didn't want her mother to speak. Because she's told so many lies, her mother won't agree with them and she will correct her, so she couldn't risk it. But nonetheless, the producers also said they would like her mother to show her how to cook something, and she apparently screamed and shouted and would not have it.
Because behind Meghan's ever-growing fame machine, Netflix documentaries, Spotify flops, staged home videos, curated wellness brands, calculated victim arcs, there's always been one constant figure in the background. Doria, calm, loyal, quiet, but not anymore. Because now, Doria's quiet doesn't look loyal.
Oh my gosh, I worked so hard.
It looks intentional, and the way she handled this backlash, cool, measured, detached, felt less like support and more like quiet dissent. No excuses, no spin, no motherly shield, just distance, strategic distance, the kind that says, I've seen enough. And in doing that, by refusing to play the usual PR game, I think Doria just exposed everything. Meghan's hunger for spotlight, the glossy, scripted persona, and the cracks forming beneath the camera-ready smile. Because when your own mother refuses to stand by your side, people start asking why.
Old revelations with a new twist. As it turns out, we've apparently been wrong all along. Britain is a nasty, racist hellhole where only magnificent Meghan stood up to all this. And
this also follows all the stories about her bullying staff over here in the UK, which is unresolved. NDAs stopped all that stuff coming out, but she bullied people in a very unpleasant way over here.
We'll see King Charles do this, because I don't think that he likes the fact that he's been accused of racism towards his grandchildren.
No, the world's biggest victims right now are the Duke and Duchess of Netflix, and don't take my word for it.
This promise of once you're married.
Harry and Meghan are the problem. And while we're going to go all over all the people that they've hired, just as a great reminder, the couple have hired plenty of professionals before. People at high levels who have worked for Bill Gates, Patagonia, all these sorts of things. And yet none of them have been successful. The common denominator in everything here is Harry and Meghan.
How hard I tried, no matter how good I was, no matter what I did, they were still going to find a way.
Wanting to exploit their royal titles, I think it stinks. And I think what King Charles should do, he should just strip them of the titles. Hours of this Netflix series paint a very different, far uglier picture of this country and our royal family.
Let's stop pretending this was just a cute mom moment. Meghan's hospital gown video was no candid celebration. It was a full-blown production, allegedly filmed just before giving birth to her daughter. The video shows Meghan swaying to music, perfectly lit, looking more like a wellness influencer than a woman in labor. It wasn't raw, it wasn't relatable, it was content, and not everyone was buying it. She posted it on June 4th, Lilibet's birthday, but also, not so coincidentally, the same week she began relaunching her lifestyle brand as ever. So was this a tribute to motherhood, or a launch strategy? People noticed the polished lighting, the soft filters, the soundtrack, they noticed the brand placement, and they definitely noticed the timing.
The only thing HRH stands for in association with Meghan Markle is her ruthless homewreckerness.
Zoom in here and it says, with the compliments of Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. That is a title that was stripped from her when she and Harry made their whole racism debacle and left the UK, left their royal duties, and moved to the US to bug all of us.
It's
And
so
loves it.
funny too that you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know I'm Sussex now.
And the backlash came fast. Viewers called it bizarre, cringe, overdone. The comments flooded in across TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. Some mocked it as a hospital runway walk. Others said it was the final straw that proved Meghan sees everything, even childbirth, as an opportunity for publicity. It felt fake. It felt staged. It felt wrong. Because while some moms are busy holding on to consciousness in a delivery room, Meghan was allegedly choreographing lighting angles and emotional beats. But the worst part wasn't the video itself, it was what came after, or rather, what didn't. Because through all the noise, all the chaos, all the eye rolling and whispering, one voice was completely missing: Doria's. When everything hit the fan, when Meghan was being dragged for turning labor into a lifestyle ad, everyone waited for the usual reinforcements, the PR spin, the family support, the soft defense interviews, but none came. And most shocking of all, Doria said nothing. This is the same woman who sat next to Oprah, who wiped away tears during the royal wedding, who's always been the calm in the Markle storm. And now, radio silence. Not even a supportive repost, not a subtle comment, not a proud grandma nod, just nothing. And that silence is not accidental. Insiders close to the family say Doria has allegedly grown increasingly uncomfortable with Meghan's choices, especially the way every private milestone becomes a viral campaign. They claim she's embarrassed by the constant spectacle, that she's worried Meghan is prioritizing fame over family, optics over honesty, and you can see it, not just in what Doria didn't say, but how she's removed herself from Meghan's branding orbit. She's been noticeably absent from promo events, podcasts, even background appearances. It's as if she's quietly trying to disengage from the circus, because silence isn't passive, it's calculated. And Doria's silence right now, it doesn't feel like love. It feels like disapproval, the cold kind, the kind that says, "You've gone too far and I won't clean up the mess this time." There's a reason Doria rarely speaks, and it's not because she has nothing to say. It's because when she does, people pay attention. And now the world is rewatching one moment on loop, that subtle, almost too polished confession in the Harry and Meghan Netflix documentary, where Doria calmly recalls being offered money to talk about her daughter. Her response? Just 5 words. "This is my child. I have nothing to say." At the time, people thought it was powerful. A mother standing firm, a quiet show of loyalty. But now, after everything that's happened, after the constant headlines, the PR disasters, the hospital dance video, it hits different. That quote doesn't feel protective anymore. It feels like a boundary, like Doria was already separating herself, already saying, "This circus isn't mine." Insiders close to the family claim that Doria has grown increasingly uncomfortable with Meghan's antics. They say she's tired of the curated vulnerability, the endless sob stories dressed up as empowerment, the "woe is me" interviews that come with a promo code. One alleged source said Doria told a friend, "This isn't the daughter I raised. This is someone performing a version of themselves for clicks." And if that's even half true, it flips everything. Because if the one person who knows Meghan best no longer recognizes her, then who is she really? Let's call it what it is. Meghan isn't chasing privacy, she's chasing relevance. And it's not subtle, it's obsessive. Her brand isn't about pulling back, it's about pulling focus. Every move she makes is a headline grab. Every life event becomes a press kit. Even her most vulnerable moments come with a lens flare and soft piano music. She doesn't just live life, she curates it, from her royal tell-all to her Spotify exit, from the As Told by Us Netflix special to the launch of As Ever. It's all part of the same ecosystem, one built on exposure, one that demands attention at all times. And according to some sources, Doria's had enough. People allegedly close to her say Doria has voiced concerns about the way Meghan treats every private experience like a business opportunity, that even motherhood, something sacred and grounded, has become a backdrop for content creation. From pregnancy photo shoots to hospital gown dance videos, nothing is off limits anymore. And according to these insiders, Doria sees it for what it is: an addiction to being seen, an addiction to control the story at any cost. And here's the brutal truth: when fame becomes your oxygen, you stop noticing who's suffocating around you. The wheels are coming loose, and everyone feels it. Meghan's out here pushing her next empowered mom brand, walking through the PR motions like nothing's wrong. But behind the scenes, the foundation is crumbling, and the proof is in who's missing. Doria used to be everywhere. She was the quiet presence at events, the grounding force in interviews, the supportive mom standing by Meghan's side without needing the spotlight. But now, she's vanished, not just from red carpets, but from Meghan's narrative entirely. There's no subtle endorsement, no curated social media moment, no branded partnership with my amazing mom, nothing, and the public is noticing. Because when Doria's gone, so is the sense of stability. It's almost like she's sending a message without saying a word. This isn't what it looks like. Don't be fooled by the filtered perfection. And whether she meant to or not, she's given everyone watching permission to start questioning the entire Markle operation, because the one person who always saw Meghan without the makeup, the lighting, or the audience just quietly walked off set. Doria's absence didn't go unnoticed. It went viral, and the internet, as always, has thoughts. Some die-hard fans are still trying to spin it, saying Doria's just keeping her peace or staying classy, but the rest of the world not buying it anymore, because the silence doesn't look protective, it looks calculated. One TikTok comment with over 50,000 likes summed it up perfectly. If your mom won't defend you, maybe she knows something we don't. And that hit a nerve, because no one knows Meghan better than Doria. Speculation is everywhere. Gossip forums are exploding. YouTube channels are putting side-by-side comparisons of old footage. Doria beaming in 2018 versus Doria stone-faced in 2024. Reddit threads are filled with armchair analysts decoding every public moment, and a growing number of fans are switching sides. Not because of what Meghan did, but because of what Doria didn't. And that's the kicker. When your fiercest critic might be the woman who raised you, the fallout becomes personal. The silence online is one thing, but behind the scenes, that's where it gets messy. Whispers are flying that Doria and Meghan have had real, raw confrontations, not just passive disagreements, full-on arguments over boundaries, over branding, over integrity. Sources allege that Doria has begged Meghan to slow down, to stop making every family moment a photo shoot, to give her children, her grandchildren, a life that's not constantly staged for public consumption. But Meghan allegedly refuses to pump the brakes. She's in too deep. The fame, the brand deals, the narrative control, it's all she knows now. And if the money's still flowing, the clicks are still coming, and the media's still watching, why stop? Doria, by contrast, has always been private. She values quiet, stability, humility, and to watch her daughter spiral into a version of herself she no longer recognizes, it's painful, it's humiliating, and it's not something she's willing to support anymore. That's why she's stepping back, not out of pettiness, out of protection, not for Meghan, but for herself, and possibly for the grandkids who never signed up for any of this. Now that the world has seen the distance, now that Doria's quiet withdrawal is being felt louder than any interview Meghan could give, what happens next? Can this be fixed? Or are we watching a slow motion collapse of something far more personal than just a brand? Because if the rumors are true, if Doria really disapproves of Meghan's choices, if she really sees her daughter slipping further and further into a fame spiral with no brakes, then the stakes are higher than ever. This isn't about a bad press cycle. This is about family, identity, trust. Doria was the one person Meghan could point to as real, as grounded, as proof that she wasn't just another social climber with a camera crew. Doria was the emotional anchor, the symbol of authenticity in Meghan's whirlwind of rebranding and reinvention. She wasn't just a mom, she was the Markle brand's moral compass. And now, that compass is gone. Meghan, for all her poise and polish, looks increasingly isolated, overproduced, overmarketed, overexposed. And without Doria by her side, that isolation looks even more brutal. The palace is long gone, Hollywood's growing skeptical, and now her own mother may have checked out. So where does this leave them? Can they repair the rift? Can Meghan step away from the cameras long enough to listen, to reconnect, not just with Doria, but with herself? Because right now, the narrative is shifting fast. The world is no longer asking, why is Meghan doing this? They're asking, why is Doria stepping away? And if Meghan can't or won't answer that honestly, this may not just be a branding breakdown. This may be the final fracture of the only real relationship she had left. This wasn't just a mother refusing to comment. This was a mother rejecting the show. Meghan Markle may still be playing the fame game, but Doria just walked off the stage. And in doing so, she exposed the truth, that the Meghan we see now isn't just a duchess or a mom or a media figure. She's a woman who's allegedly obsessed with the spotlight. And the one person who could have kept her grounded may be the one backing away in disappointment. So the question now isn't, will Doria speak? She already has, through silence, through absence, through boundaries. And what she's not saying might be the most powerful statement of all.